and welcome back to Smart Money Sundays. And I know it's been a while. Took a brief hiatus as markets were relatively slow for the month of August. However, as a lot of you probably know from last week, things are starting to look like they're picking back up, especially with the crazy volatility that we had on Friday. Okay, so super happy to be back. Give you some of the few things I'm looking at coming into the week ahead. All right, so as usual, we're going to be starting out on the euro. Okay, and this is one, and I will kind of preface all of this by saying that dollar is somewhat in a tricky spot if you're looking across the board on the dollar pairs. I'm personally getting some mixed signals on it. Nevertheless, we take each day, we take it day by day, and what price is telling us. Okay, not what we want to see. We always trade strictly what we see. All right, so right now on Euro USD, what I'm seeing is obviously with that strong close on Friday, some bullish momentum, creating this somewhat of a higher time frame pullback. Now, if you've been following for quite some time, you know that ultimately I still kind of want to see 1.15 on EU. Still want to see 1.15, kind of the retest of this old high where we had the massive COVID sell-off, sell to buy. Okay, so I still really do want to see this level met on EU. Doesn't mean we'll see it met immediately. All right, so for the here and now, obviously Friday's engulfing created that nice down close for us. Okay, so I think we can look to be playing kind of immediately off of some of these down close candles on XXX USD. All right, and in this case, obviously 1.1771. Hopefully get that, maybe London or London, New York crossover, and scale into the lower time frames for a continuation, at least up into kind of this 4-hour last point of return structure here. All right, so 1.1870, 1.1880. I'm expecting to see some more upside on EU up into this supply. Up into here. Okay, so if we can get that kind of quick retracement intraday, we can look to get long on this thing up into obviously where we had our failed flag a few weeks ago. As you can see, failed flag, run the liquidity, buy to sell. Okay, so this level has never been rebalanced. I'm looking for price to come up into there where we will reassess based on kind of the DXY and the other dollar pairs, whether or not we want to look for shorting opportunities from this supply. Okay, but until then, we can look for these intraday continuations up into supply. All right, so pretty simple, pretty straightforward here on the euro. Same kind of deal with Aussie dollar. Created that beautiful kind of down close and massive engulfing for Friday. All right, so again, we can be looking to scale in off of here and look for that continuation up, possibly running out some of these lower time frame highs within here into 7,400. Okay, so another quite simple little setup here on AU, and this thing could honestly, depending on what the dollar wants to do and what we see with EU, whether or not EU respects that supply, is you will note that I kind of called this level out weeks ago on AUD USD. All you have to do is go back and watch. But obviously we had our weekly down close, traded into beautifully with a very, very strong reaction, almost engulfing the prior week. Okay, so this could be the catalyst to push this thing much higher. I just don't know yet. And again, it's going to be based upon other confluences and how the other dollar pairs are reacting to their levels. All right, but for the here and now, we can look to scale in off of this down close and ride this thing up intra-day, intra-week. And the same thing kind of goes with GBP USD. As you all know, we caught that beautiful entry here off of our last point of return a few weeks ago. And, price obviously cleared high within structure. Okay, so I kind of view this as a BOS, and so I was naturally expecting some type of higher low, albeit we had a very, very steep retracement, okay, which oftentimes I don't like to see, but nevertheless we did create that kind of higher low here, and that tells me that we could possibly trade up into our overall target from this trade idea that I sent out over a month ago, or about a month ago, come into this old wick low here. All right, so I could see some serious potential upside here on GBP USD. And if we kind of scale in, we can look at this block of candles, okay, this down close, running out liquidity, looking at 50% of this. Obviously you can see the wick here within the lower time frame as well. So around 1.3725, look for a continuation up, at least running out singular wick high, and potentially obviously even our trend line liquidity as well intra-week. All right, so things are kind of aligning here in terms of intra-week continuations to the upside on a lot of these XXX USD pairs. All right, a couple more I wanted to note. CAD JPY, I am looking for a potential shorting opportunity on this. If we scale down into 20-minute, you can see we kind of distributed here, obviously the lower time frame BOS, and I'm looking at this as kind of a LPSY. We're starting to slow down in price, get that last buy to sell, and continue this thing down, probably into 85.50, looking at this level, 85.80. Okay, so potential play here on CAD JPY. I am interested in NZD CAD as well, and I know these kind of go against each other, but NZD CAD, I'm looking at all of these lows here. Obviously you can see clean equal lows essentially here that never took out this low, so I'm expecting ultimately this to be the draw on liquidity for NZD CAD. And obviously, as you can see, we are trading into higher time frame point of supply here. So I am liking, I believe it was a 2 hour, 2 hour. As you can see, the supply, the inefficiency. I would like to see some sort of distribution here on the lower time frames, the run, hopefully the London session, open, and then obviously the BOS and the continuation. Okay, so that's the level on NZD CAD, 8863. And if we get that, we should be good to go to take out all of these clean lows here. Sorry, it's kind of ugly. But that's NZD CAD. And let's see. I think there was one or two more. CHF JPY, obviously, if you're in VIP, you're in this at the moment. Had a very, very nice reaction. And I was kind of basing this as a swing trade, which we don't do quite often. We're typically more so focused in on intraday, but I like this as a swing opportunity. Obviously, the trend line liquidity run out, trading into old high within the structure. We are in an overall uptrend, and you'll see after this run on liquidity, we had the BOS, formed another counter trend, BOS, lower time frames, and this was our entry, looking to ride this thing up at least into this region of price, 122.20, if not even make a new high in this market. As you can see, we are in a higher time frame, massive uptrend. All right, but looking for about 240 pips on this, currently up about 60.70. All right, so that's CHF JPY. And another swing trade I'm actually looking at is the Euro AUD. Very kind of clean and simple. As you can see, very strong uptrend at the moment, just looking to trade continuations, and this would be a higher time frame swing, looking to kind of play off of this 8 hour down close, which traded into lower time frame structure here. It is a swing trade, 505 pips we're looking for, so I'm giving it a little extra breathing room on the stop, and looking for that 1 to 6, and just swing this market to the upside, following trend. All right, so that's kind of at the moment what I'm looking at coming into the week. As usual, things almost always change with intraday price action. If you're in VIP, you will be updated on everything that happens. If you'd like to join, please message us on Telegram at ArielFX Trading or visit our website, arielfxtrading.com, to join the community. All right? Have a wonderful week, guys.